people can help me with my computer.
Oh.
A technician will be with you in 4 hours.
4 hours?
You can upgrade for just $5,000.
What?
The Universal Serial Config board should be set to ID 6.
I need that in plain English. Help!
Leo Laporte to call for help. May I help you?
Hi, how are you? Welcome to Call for Help. Good to see you. I'm Leo Laporte, and this is the show where we answer your computer questions. We explain technology. We make it simple. We make it basic so that you don't have to be baffled by this. You don't have to wander around in mystery. You know what you want, and you know how to get it. I can't. I'm sorry. Can we just stop for a minute? I need this. I have to have this. I'll just put this right here. This is my cyber. It looks like a stack of floppies, doesn't it? No, it's my cyber drink holder from cyberdrinkholder.com. All right, now we can continue with the show. If you've got a question I'd like to answer, you can call me toll-free from anywhere in North America. Isn't that beautiful? 888-989-7879. That's the phone number. Email me, callforhelp@techtv.com. Or you can chat with us. I just went into the chat room. I haven't said hi yet. Go to the website, techtv.com/callforhelp, and click on Interact and chat with us, and you'll be in there. I just said hi there. And let me just see what my avatar is today. I am in the 8-ball. The magic 8-ball. So join me in there. It's a lot of fun. Now, there he is. I knew he'd show up. Right there. Today on the show, I have some bad news. It's really actually devastating news. Computers don't work right. Things just go wrong, and you have to restore, reinstall, you get it all going from scratch. Brand new machines sometimes come with a disk with everything you need. You just stick it in there and restore it. It works great. What if you've had your PC for a while and you're thinking, gosh, if I had to restore this, I'd be up a creek without a paddle. We're going to show you an easy way to get your system back on track without spending a lot of money or a lot of time. Plus, Mike Langberg is here. He's the personal technology editor for the San Jose Mercury News, one of the great newspapers in the country for covering technology. Mike is an expert. We brought him in to show you how PDAs work. If you've been thinking, and I know a lot of you are saying, gee, I need one of those little palm devices. We'll show you what to look for, when not to spend more money, and how to synchronize your data with your desktop. Let's get to our first call. That's all coming up. Let's get to the present. Brandy is on the line from Lincoln, Michigan. Hello, Brandy!
Hey, Leo. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
What can I do for you?
Well, I can't put my computer on standby.
You mean you can't put it to sleep?
The little box that comes up when you go to your start menu and hit shutdown.
Yeah.
For some reason, the standby has disappeared.
You no longer have a standby.
I'm sure it's something my kids did, but...
All right. Let me show you that on my computer. Because I can go to standby. I never use this, by the way. Standby, this is what she's talking about when you go to the start menu and you select shutdown, and then you get this choice here. It's shutdown, restart in MS-DOS mode. That's going away, by the way, with the next edition of Windows. But this standby is what you like.
Uh-huh.
And what do you use that for? You just like it to go to sleep instead of shutting it down?
Yeah, it just seems like it takes forever to reboot when I turn it back on, and it seems to work well. Standby's
nice because, exactly. Mostly because it boots up faster.
Right.
Standby can be bad. I just want to warn you.
Okay.
Because sometimes it can confuse programs. It's a good idea to close programs before you do standby, only because sometimes when the computer, what it's doing is going to sleep. When it wakes up, the programs are groggy.
Oh, that's like me in the morning.
Yes, and they go, I don't know, where am I? What happened? I was operating, I was downloading mail, and all of a sudden, boom, we went to sleep. So I would recommend, unless you're not having any trouble at all, but it's not unusual to have problems with standby. And that's, by the way, one reason that it might have gotten disabled. Don't blame your kids. Sometimes when you wake up from a bad standby, what happens is you get an error message that says, standby failed. Would you like me to turn this feature off?
I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
My kids said that there's a thing on the screen, and I didn't go back there to inspect it.
That's
and
what it was.
I told her to click on whichever one she thought, and it's gone.
She might have done the right thing. It's because your computer crashed after a standby, because of this grogginess thing.
Okay.
Turning it back on. Now, I am not sure, so bear with me.
Okay.
What I'm going to suggest you do, and I think this will work, but if anybody's watching and has a better idea, I'd like to hear it. Go to Properties, select the Screensaver tab, and then you can get to your energy-saving features.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm not sure this is what you want, but you see where it says system standby?
Right.
This will make it standby after a period of inactivity. And I'm wondering if, that's where it's coming from.
Okay.
Okay? So try turning it on. I had it set to never. In fact, that's what we want on the TV show because I don't want it to go to sleep on me.
Okay.
But try setting it to a time and seeing if that re-enables it.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, you kind of stumped me. I'm not sure how to re-enable it. I know how to disable it because when it crashes, I've seen that error message.
Okay.
So shall I go through it again?
No, it's okay. I think I can figure it out.
It's the display control panel.
You think it's better just to shut it down each time?
Yes. What standby does is it saves the contents of your memory to the hard drive, puts everything into a sleep mode, low power mode, and then when it comes back, it loads it off the hard drive. If programs are running, that can be confusing. That's why you got the error message.
Okay.
I think in general, you probably should just shut it down.
Okay.
Turn it on in the morning, go get a cup of coffee, and a minute later it'll be up.
Okay.
Okay. But see if that re-enables it, and I think it will. And you know what? This is good for me to know. So if anybody knows how, send me an email, call for help at TechTV.com. When standby gets disabled because of a crash, there must be some simple technique to re-enable it. What is that? And I'll do some searching. Maybe I can find out on Microsoft's website. Or I could just read the help file. Nah. Coming up next, what do you do when it's time to start from scratch and reinstall all your software? Well, if you've been backing up your hard drive, that's no big deal. If you've been backing it up, we'll talk about backing up. When Call for Help continues. Stay right here. Welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here, and on the line right now, actually on the NetCam, on the TechTV NetCam network, it's Mary Beth from Albertville, Alabama. Hello, Mary Beth.
Hey, Leo.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Were you a little nervous?
Very.
Don't be nervous. It's just us. Nobody watches this show.
Okay.
It's just the two of us, okay? What can I do for you?
All right. When you buy a computer, they give you a restore disk.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Uh-huh. But since I've had my computer, I upgraded everything except for the case and the file. So you're talking hard drive, modem.
Oh, man.
Everything.
You wouldn't want to use that restore disk anymore.
So how do I make a restore disk that'll put all the hard drive information and all the information I need to restore it in case something terrible happens?
Let me talk a little bit about what a restore disk is. I'm not actually recommending you do that, okay? But let me talk, and I'll tell you what you should do instead. A restore disk is basically a snapshot of the computer as it was when it came from the factory, right? And that's nice because, and the reason they do it is for tech support, because they can say, oh, just put that disk in, type restore, and then they know exactly what state your computer's in. It's exactly as it came from the factory. Makes it much easier for them to do tech support. There's a problem with that, though. You lose all your data and anything you've done to change the computer since. And so, as you point out, it's not such a good thing after you've used the computer. The truth is, even after a month or two, a restore disk is probably not such a good thing. You can make a new restore disk. I'll just tell you how. But it's fairly technical. It requires that you have either multiple hard drives or multiple hard drive partitions. And then you'll use a program like Ghost, which is a disk imaging program, to take a snapshot of your hard drive. You can't do it all on one disk, though, because it can't take a picture of the disk while it's writing to the disk. That makes sense, doesn't it? You know, the disk is actually changing while it's taking the picture, so that wouldn't work. So it has to take a picture of this and save the image to another disk. You can't do it to a CD. It has to do it to a hard drive or a partition on the hard drive. Then you can take that, put it on a CD, and that will allow you to restore. I don't think you need to do that. I'm going to tell you something different, okay? And to do that, I need to kind of explain about backup. A lot of times I think we get our notion of how to back up from business, because that's the people who do all the backing up all the time is businesses, because they need it to be backed up. So we look at businesses and think, well, we got to do the same thing, and we don't. There's a difference between what you should do at home and what you should do at work. So let me talk a little bit about backup and then make a recommendation for you, okay?
Okay.
So let's talk about backup here, and I'm going to use the chalkboard for this. And it's almost as if we had a graph, and the axis of the axes were the time to back up, the amount of time you spend backing up, and the amount of time you spend restoring. And there's a definite relationship between that. So the more time you spend restoring, the less time you spend backing up. So I really should do it that way, shouldn't I? And in a business, what's most important? To get back online ASAP, right? Restoring is the most important thing. So they're willing to have an employee, after all, it's not the boss, it's the employee, spend a lot of time every day backing up on the off chance they're going to lose their hard drive so that they can restore it in 5 minutes. We can get it back in 5 minutes. We've got an instant restore. Now, I say with an individual, I say since restore happens so infrequently and backing up happens, we hope, so frequently, spend less time here and be willing to spend more time restoring. Does that make sense?
Okay.
I know it's hard to think when you're nervous. Can you follow this?
All right. And will that be restoring the information on the hard drive and all the, like the modems, the drivers?
Yeah, and that's the key here, is a business will back up the whole dang hard drive. Let me show you what a business uses typically. They'll use something like this. This costs $1,200. It is a DAT tape backup. This one tape holds 24 gigabytes. So you could back up your whole hard drive on this, can't you? You could back it up several times. Now that's great because, but it costs a lot of money. And what are we doing? We're spending a lot of money and a lot of time so that we can get an instantaneous restore from that. What I would say is, you should just be backing up the important stuff to you every day. It only takes a few minutes if you only back up the key stuff. They're backing up the operating system, Windows. They're backing up the applications. They're backing up the settings. That's very important. And they're backing up the data. Well, you already have a copy of the operating system, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't need to back that up. You already got a copy of your applications, right?
Yeah.
You have the originals. Why do they back those up? They have copies too because it saves time in the restore. They don't have to reinstall the operating system. They don't have to reinstall the apps. This is what you should be backing up. This can be backed up in 1/10 the time, just the settings and the data, the stuff that's unique to your machine. And then if you do have, on the rare case you have a failure, you'll take a little bit more time. I admit it's going to take you half a day instead of 5 minutes to restore your hard drive, but you haven't spent hundreds and hundreds of hours backing up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Save time on the stuff that you do every day, not on the stuff you might not ever do. In a business, you have to, because getting back online is key. So what I'm going to suggest to you is don't back up your operating system. You've got your Windows disk, right? You don't need an image is what I'm saying, because that's what's in there. You don't need the applications. You've got to make sure you have the original master disk. That's it. What you want to back up is your data, your settings. For that, a zip disk that's attached to your computer would be fine, 100 megabytes to 250 megabytes. A CD recorder, 650 megabytes. Use these things. These last forever to back up your data. And let me show you, we have an article on the website. I'm going to refer you to that for the details. But here's what you should be backing up. Let's take a look at my hard drive here. You should be backing up whatever's in my documents, right?
Yeah.
Because that's your documents. You should back up your settings, and those settings will be in various places. For instance, you might have your bookmarks. That's your favorites. You might want to back those up. We were talking yesterday, you might want to back up your cookies if you've got passwords stored in there. Settings, things like network settings, the better way to back them up is to open your network control panel and just write them down. Go to your dial-up networking and write down. Actually, I don't have dial-up networking on here, but if I did, I would write down those settings. That's the best way to back those up because it only takes you a few minutes to re-enter those. Okay. You want to do something that you're going to do. You don't want to do a backup that's going to take you hours and hours, right? And you know what? If you made an image, it's going to be out of date in a month anyway. You have to do those regularly, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're going to get just as far ahead next time. You've done this all yourself, all the upgrades and everything to your computer?
Uh-huh.
That's great. So you're kind of a computer expert.
No, far from that.
Well, I'm impressed. You've rebuilt the whole darn thing. So do you understand what I'm saying? I think people think because in business you back up everything that you have to back up everything. You don't. Back up the stuff you don't have copies of. And backing it up could mean copying it to a zip disk. Backing it up could also mean just writing down your settings. If you've got your crucial internet settings, you don't really need to make a backup copy of those files. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm taking the burden off of you, Mary Beth.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Easy, because you don't have to be, you're not IBM, you're not U.S. Steel, you don't have to restore in 5 seconds. You can take your time restoring. Thank you, Mary Beth. I appreciate the call.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Making an image, if you do want to make an image, requires partitioning your hard drive and using a Symantec product like Ghost or PowerQuest disk image to create a bit-by-bit copy of your drive on another drive. If you understand what I just said, go ahead and do it. If you didn't, it's not for you. We're going to take a break, but first it's time to test your technology. I want to give you a daily quiz. You ready? Pop quiz. Go to TechTV.com, click on the quiz. Right at the top says today's quiz. Answer this right. You're going to drawing 1 year at smartplanet.com. Our quiz question of the day, what is a disk image? What is that I talked about? Is it a graphics menu, a duplicate hard drive, a RAM upgrade, or is it your computer's self-esteem? My computer has a very, very fine image. Get to the website. Give us your answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Call for Help's beautiful website, TechTV.com/call for help. Be there or be square. Every day, we've got a great thing for you to click on. It's a free file of the day. Something you can download, chosen by the great folks of the Leading Edge Software Library. Today, it's a replacement for Notepad. It's called SUNY Notepad. Or maybe it's Sunny. I don't know if it's SUNY or Sunny, but it's very nice. It's a little thing. And if you use your Notepad, you might want the additional features of this. For instance, you can get fonts. You have more capabilities. You can have larger files. It's even got sensible find and replace, a built-in calculator and calendar. It's a nice little program. Hey, it's free. What do you want? Our free file of the day at www.techtv.com/call for help. Time for our next call of the day. Bruce, Pasadena, California. Hello, Mr. Major. How are you?
Hey, Mr. Report. How you doing?
Oh, dang, good. You snuck up on me. Hey, I like the TechTV shirt. Did you make that yourself?
Yeah, well, I just glued the TechTV with the ZD-TV logo underneath it.
So you got best of both worlds. What can I do for you, Bruce?
Okay. I hear that Windows ME comes out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have is Windows 98.
Yes.
First edition.
You don't have second edition.
No,
okay.
First edition with the upgrade from Windows 95.
Okay, so you've upgraded already.
Right. I was wondering if I should get the new Me or wait for it, or what's the deal with that?
Well, everybody likes the idea of a new Me. I mean, that's a great thing, doesn't it? It sounds like that. That's probably why they call it Me.
Yeah.
But I think probably in your case, and in most cases, no, you should not upgrade.
Okay.
In fact, you're pretty lucky because you didn't upgrade to SE, did you?
No, I did not.
And do you feel like you missed anything?
Not that I know of.
In fact, I know a lot of people who upgraded to SE and had more problems, particularly with shutting down.
Yeah, I usually wait.
And you were smart, and I would recommend this. I would counsel the same thing. Windows ME is to Windows 98 SE. Me is to C as SE was to 98. It's a minor upgrade.
Yeah.
Bug fixes. They've added a few features. They've added better support for digital media. So if you use a digital camera, a scanner, a video camera, you might like that. One of the things they put in there, they built in there, is a Microsoft Movie Maker, which is a pretty primitive movie editing program, kind of on the iMovie level.
I see.
It's basically to compete with iMovie.
Right.
They have built in, one of the things I like that they have built in is better help features, particularly for restoring damaged systems. They have a system restore feature that's kind of like, you remember the program Go Back, which would, once you installed something, would allow you to step back in time if the thing didn't work. Mm-hmm. Things like that, I think, are nice improvements, but they're not must-have improvements.
Okay.
It is probably going to be more reliable. You know, people have pointed quite a bit to the fact that DOS is gone from Windows ME. But, you know, we found an interesting thing. I've looked very carefully. It looks like DOS is not gone from Windows ME, just the DOS menu command.
Oh.
The theory was if Microsoft takes out compatibility with older DOS programs, Windows can be more reliable.
Okay.
That's what they did with Windows NT, their business operating system. But in fact, they didn't take out the 16-bit code, as far as I can tell. It still runs just about. I cannot find an old DOS program that doesn't run, and we've even found patches that let you get to the DOS prompt. So I think it's not. I think it's no difference at all. It's basically an attempt from Microsoft. They've moved to a yearly upgrade schedule. Why? Because it's a lot of money for them in their pocket.
So I should wait for the next upgrade.
The next upgrade will be a substantial upgrade. That's when they start to unify the NT, which is very reliable, very strong business operating system, with the consumer Windows 98 line. And I think that will be a good upgrade. That's at least a year off, though. Mm-hmm. For right now, I would say if you're buying a new computer, get it with Windows ME by all means. But if you have an older system, particularly like you, Bruce, where you've been upgrading all along from 95, I think it makes it less reliable to do another upgrade. I think if you're happy with 98 the way it is, don't change a thing. Save the $70, okay?
Okay.
Hey, thank you very much, Bruce.
Thank you for the tummy cam.
Bruce runs a website with pictures of my tummy on it. What's the URL for that?
That's home.earthlink.net//BMAUGER.
I'll put it in my show notes. home.earthlink.net/BMAUGER.
Right.
For pictures of my tummy. I don't know why you'd want to go there. Thank you, Bruce.
You're welcome, Leo.
Take care.
Thanks. Good talking to you again.
All right. The official manager of the Tummy Cam website, Bruce Major, ladies and gentlemen. We have a special treat for you. Coming up next, we're going to check in with the TechTV newsroom. And then we just talked about Microsoft's new operating system. Well, Apple has made it a big announcement. Today, they shipped for the very first time a public version of OS X. It's a beta. It's early, but it's out now. We're going to give you your first look. The call for help continues. All right, welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here. This is the show where we answer computer questions in plain English. What a novel concept. Who thought of that? What nut thought of that? I'm going to get banned from the Geek Guild for this for sure. This is a show where you can watch and learn and go out there and be a guru of your own. If you're joining us for the first time, let me encourage you to check out the chat room. This is a great way to get grounded in the Call for Help gestalt, the culture of the Call for Help crowd. You go to techtv.com/call for help, and you click on the Interact button, and then these people are watching the show while they're typing in there, and a lot of them are experts, a lot of them are newbies, but you go in, they're friendly, they're nice, and they'll help you out, and they'll explain what the heck is going on the screen. And by the way, if you're not a newbie, If you have a net cam and you want to ask a question, actually, I guess newbies could have net cams, couldn't they? I'd love it if you'd send me a video of yourself asking a question. Sometimes I know it's just kind of embarrassing or you're shy about getting on live television. Record yourself. Send that video to our special Vmail address, cfhvmail@techtv.com. Right now, time to check in with the Tech TV newsroom, see what's going on in the world around us. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely, the talented Erica Hill.
Leo, these introductions, you spoil me.
Dear. Go ahead. What's the news?
All right, straight to the news. Here we go. Today is a good one. You know, Leo, we now know the shocking secret of what lies beneath the keyboard. In these .com days, people are tied to their computers for at least 14 hours a day, and it seems personal grooming habits are becoming obvious at work. Computer filth has now been exposed. Janet Yee has the story.
The keyboard. Live with it, die without it. It's become so much a part of our lives, we can't part with it. That means in this bustling technology age, we share breakfast, lunch, and dinner with, yes, our keyboards. Watch as we ask satellite coordinator Teresa Keene to turn her keyboards upside down.
What are we looking at here? Oh, a lot of crumbs. Some hair.
Why is it that we're all eating at our desks?
Because we don't have time to go outside and like normal people, because we work too hard.
Radio producer Eileen Rivera faces constant pressure tied to her computer, but hey, you gotta eat.
I've got such a busy schedule that I need to, be in front of my computer all day. You want to shake out your keyboard for us? Oh boy. Ooh, upside down now. Kind of scary.
And the story is the same just about everywhere. Computer filth is exposed. A study conducted on behalf of AOL UK finds keyboards are bombarded with as much as 2 grams of dirt every month. Analysis of that dirt, mostly food, but yuck. Also dead bugs, fingernail clippings, dead skin, and hair.
Andrew Hahn, our own lab director, you're not surprised by this study at all?
No, not at all, actually. We have a lot of problem with keyboards and junk. We have tons of keyboards in the lab, and people eat them all the time. One thing we do use, though, is N-Dust or a duster.
The solution? Canned air. But by the looks of the keyboard morgues in most IT departments, not many choose that route of keeping things clean. And we actually had a serious mishap in our own VDTV radio studio.
The board had caught fire and started smoking. When we sent it away to Mackie to have it repaired, they said open it up, and they found more crumbs in here than your average toaster.
So as you type away, since you can't get away, think about this. What you're eating may be killing your keyboard. Experts say shake your keyboard upside down unless you like the bugs in there eating your leftover lunch.
Now, this study, by the way, didn't say just how much this is costing companies, but researchers say few of us is innocent, and I have to admit, Leo, I know I'm not. My keyboard could definitely use a little once-over. I don't know about yours.
What do you, no, look, watch. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, you know why? Because yours is at the studio and people take care of it. I'm talking about the one at your desk.
You don't want to see the one at my desk or at home. Do you eat while you compute?
Oh, yeah, I eat lunch at my desk every day.
We all do, because we don't have time. I didn't even have lunch today. We don't have time.
No.
So you got to eat over your computer keyboard. But noodles? How did noodles get in a keyboard?
I didn't do it.
And what's boiled sweet? That's what I want to know.
Boiled what?
Didn't they talk about boiled sweet?
I didn't know.
We had a British package. I'm sorry, you didn't show that part.
Didn't know what you're talking about.
There was a package from Britain that started all this. You probably didn't see it, the news story from Britain. And that's what they talked about. They said there's boiled sweet in here. You know what that is, boiled sweet?
It's again for tea, you know.
I don't know.
If you work at a .co.uk as opposed to .com.
That's right.
Right.
Well, thank you very much,
No,
Erica.
thank you, Leo.
All right, we'll talk again later.
Have a lovely day.
Tell me how. Tip. Bye-bye. So if you want to, I'm curious what you got going on in your keyboard. So we got a little poll here. What do you eat while you compute? Head to the webpage, techtv.com/call for help. See right here it says poll. Click on vote, and you get some good choices. And I want you to all vote. And tell us the truth. What do you eat while you compute? There's a URL right there. If you want more on this very important, fast-breaking story and all the latest Tech TV news, watch the TV throughout the day or on the website at techtv.com. Now it's time for a Macworld Mac tip of the day. Hey. I've been waiting for this tip for about 6 years. Both the rest of us. Today, a peek at, yes, it's here, OS 10 from Macworld Magazine, Jason Snell, who brought it here. Now, Apple has been working on this going back to the days of Rhapsody, right?
Right. Even before that, they were trying to work on a new version of the Mac OS. There was Pink, there was Copeland, there was Rhapsody. There was Gershwin.
It's actually, if you really started from the beginning when they announced they were going to do this, it's literally been almost 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, and this development's been going on for probably 2.5 years now.
Now, how is it out now? We've seen it before, but only in like top secret, super
right.
secret.
And Steve Jobs would appear on stage presenting OS 10.
But you're showing this now without Steve. What is this?
This is the OS 10 public beta.
Take a look at this, folks. It's beautiful.
And it's very pretty.
Now, when you say public beta, what does that mean?
It's not a finished version of the operating system.
Please, now you're talking. I'm
it's not a finished version of the operating system. Whoa, look at that.
This is cool. All right.
Not all the features are in it. There's going to be some bugs in it, but Apple wanted to release it so that people could test it out and find the bugs so that when the 1.0 product comes out next year, it actually works.
Who should test this and who should not test this?
People who are sort of hardcore Mac users who really want to try out where the Mac is going in the future. This is how the Mac is going to work starting sometime next year. All Macs will be shipping with this. But if you're somebody who is happy with what you're doing now, you're not going to get all your work done in Mac OS 10, not for a while.
Right.
It isn't entirely compatible with a lot of the things that are in your Mac now.
In fact, to really take advantage of it, software has to be rewritten. Now, there is some rewritten software. There's Internet Explorer.
Right. There's an Internet Explorer and a couple other things down there that are rewritten. The QuickTime Player, Apple Work 6 actually has been rewritten and is native, and it'll run OS 9 applications in something called Classic mode.
Okay.
But it's a little bit weird.
Get a load of that toolbar. That's
the dock.
And
it contains your running applications. It can contain minimized windows. Actually, try this out. In the Finder window there are those 3 buttons on the left side, and this is different from the current Mac OS.
We got the red, yellow, and green.
The red, yellow, green is traffic light.
Yeah.
Press on the middle one, the yellow, which is a minus, and that's the minimize button.
Watch. It goes, whoop! Did you see that? Now, where you didn't see where it went down here. If you scroll down a little bit, Aaron, down to the bottom here, it went actually into the dock.
Yeah.
So
and if you click on it, it'll pop.
$30. You can buy it from the Apple Store now.
Right. That's the catch. That's the other catch about who should use this.
Yeah.
If you're willing to spend $30 to get an operating system from Apple that's kind of buggy and kind of doesn't have everything there, with no guarantee that you'll ever get that money back, because Apple has not yet said whether you'll get a rebate toward the purchase of the full version. And Mac OS 10 beta expires May 15th of next year.
Okay, so this is really for somebody who's a hardcore user or really wants to be a bug tester and find bugs for Apple, or
if you want to steer the Mac OS to where it's going to go.
They have
this
the feedback
is what the Mac is going to be starting next year.
So, folks, if you're a Mac user right now and you're saying, is this for me? No, it is not for you. Stay with OS 9.
Yeah.
This will be out sometime next year.
Right, and it'll be great when it comes out. I really believe that. It looks beautiful.
Right.
There are bugs to be worked out, but I'm actually encouraged by the fact that Apple is going to let its users hammer on this thing and find the bugs.
That's a good thing.
I don't know if I would pay $30 to help Apple.
I would.
It's a little bit strange, money. But if you want to get your word in, and if you want to get your word in and have Apple listen to you, Apple is listening to its users.
Thank you very much for bringing this in. We're going to leave this on the computer, so we'll have it if you want to see more. Maybe we'll show more later on as the show goes by or in weeks to come. Thank you very much, Jason.
You're welcome.
Coming up next, more of your computer questions, more of answers of mine, and a great web tip you won't want to miss. Stay right here. TechTV.com/call for help. That's the one address you need for all sorts of great stuff. Many of the things you see on this show, like pretty much all of them, make it to the website for quick reference. And also stuff you don't see on the show, like our weekly quiz. We're going to test your knowledge of computer devices. Let's see. Let's take a test. You ready? At the end of the quiz, right or wrong, you'll have a chance to enter the drawing for the Call for Help T-shirt. What is a computer device? A small program, a maintenance application, a piece of hardware, or a clamp to steady your computer? I think it's a piece of hardware. What do you think? Yes, it's my final answer. Answer all 10 questions. You'll learn something. You'll have some fun, and you'll get a chance at the end to enter the drawing for that great T-shirt. Good luck. Now, our next call of the day from Grafton, Wisconsin. Norm is on the line. Hello, Norman.
How you doing, Leo?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. I've been watching for a long time, first-time caller, and looking forward to having you solve my problem.
I like first-time callers. In fact, you know what? You just gave me an idea. We're going to do a first-time caller day once a week. I think we should do that. Only people who've never been on before. What can I do? I'm going to solve your problem right now, just like that.
Hope so.
Well, what is it?
All right. After I'm finished with a day at work, I like to back up my files.
Good idea.
And I've been using the direct CD for doing my backups.
That turns a CD drive, a CD recorder, into what looks like a hard drive. You just drag the data to it. And
Correct.
Yep.
And what I want to do is, obviously, I have the same folders that I'm updating my files on.
Right.
I was wondering if there's a special keyboard command or whatever to only update the files.
Changed files.
Yes, that have been changed since the last time that I backed them up.
In theory, that's what Briefcase will do. We've all seen this, the little briefcase icon that comes with Windows 98, 95, and of course everybody deletes it. I don't use it. But in theory, that's what Briefcase does. You copy the stuff there, and then you copy it over. You could try that. Well, I'm going to show you what I use. It's actually a shareware program. You mind going out and getting a shareware program?
Oh, I can handle that.
This is a great program. It's called Second Copy, and in fact, you're going to like it better than what you're doing. What it does is it monitors changes and will copy only changed files, and it'll do it in the background automatically. So what you do, and I do this all the time, it's kind of my backup program. It actually fits perfectly with Mary Beth's question earlier. I have this running all the time. Every couple of hours or so, it looks and sees what's been changed in my, say, My Documents folder and updates the changed files on the CD or the zip disk. It only does the changed files, and you don't have to do it by hand. It does it automatically. So, because I do the same thing. I have a zip disk that I take from work and I bring home. This is the program I recommend. You can try it for free, $30 if you decide to keep it. The guy who wrote it's very cool, very nice guy. I want to encourage you. This is a great program. It's from centered.com, or just go to the Hot Files site, the ZDNet Software Library, and search for Second Copy. It is really a very nice backup utility. Hey, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Coming up next, we're going to show you how to get the most out of your PDA. We're going to do synchronizing, and we're going to show you how to save some money, too. Stay right here. for another Soho segment. Soho, that small office, home office. Would you like to be finally free of the tyranny of paper? You know, your Rolodex, your Filofax, your phone book, you got your clipboard, you got all this stuff. You don't need this anymore. But all of that will fit into, if I can find it, one of these. These are the hottest, latest, greatest things. I know you've heard about them. PDAs. They hold all your data in one place. Mike Langberg is here to talk about PDAs. He's the gadget guy from the San Jose Mercury News. Okay, your official title, personal technology editor. But there's nothing more personal than this. This is really personal. Yeah. You use these?
Here's mine.
You got your? Here's mine. Actually, this is mine too. But I just have this one because it's silver and pretty, and I really use the Palm for all the work. The key on these, the breakthrough on these, was the fact that you could get your data from your desktop computer into here automatically. Wasn't that the breakthrough?
And vice versa.
Well, tell me how that works.
We don't need to describe all the software trickery that's involved, but it's like you're just talking about in the previous segment with second copy. You write something on here, you stick it in the cradle, you push the button, the computer looks and says, if anything has changed, what's the most recent version? So if you've updated a file in here, it gets updated in your computer. And vice versa, if you're sitting at the computer using the software that comes with Palm device or something like Microsoft Outlook or Apt or whatever, and you make a change there, the next time you hit the synchronize button, it goes back into here, and you have the same data in both places whenever you synchronize.
We can actually do it because I think this is hooked up. So that's called synchronizing. I'm getting the data in here to match the data, and if you look at the screen, you can see it's actually synchronizing the date book, synchronizing the to-do list, synchronizing the handheld data. You know what? It was that fast. That was just a few seconds.
And it makes a little happy noise when it's done now, right there.
So that's really handy. What's the advantage of? The obvious advantage is this is kind of like a tearaway page from my computer. I can take the data with me.
Yeah, I think the real advantage is you can lose that. And this is a Palm 3E, which was out last year for $149. They have another model now for $149. If I lose this, or it gets damaged or stolen, I'm $149 sad.
Yeah.
If I lost all the information in here, I would be devastated.
You lose this.
Right.
You lose your life. There is no, and your pen. There is no copy of this anywhere.
Right.
And that's a huge breakthrough. So it's not really about size or convenience, or it's about backup.
Yes.
Isn't that
safety?
Safety. Yeah, I would agree with you. You have a much more peace of mind. But it's also nice to have that data with you, easily found and easily accessed. One of the things people complain about, and I know my mom and people who would be considering buying one of these, is the data entry. This is a little pen, it's a little screen, you have to learn a special alphabet. Is that something I should be considering?
You don't have to do that, and that's another great thing about the concept of synchronization. You get the software on your computer, which looks a lot like
Let's show the software. This is the Palm software, the Palm Daybook. This is the one that comes with it. It's free, but
it kind of looks like what you get on the computer screen, and you can enter information here using the keyboard, working in a way that's very familiar to you. And then when you're done, you hit the button on the cradle, and it synchronizes. So you don't have to use the stylus, which some people are nervous about. It's actually a lot easier than you think. But if you're nervous about it, at least you can get started without having to use the stylus. And then you just evolve. People have different work habits. I enter all the information on the computer because I sit in front of the computer most of the day.
I think most people do.
Right. But my wife, Debbie, is a psychologist. She has never entered a single bit of information.
Well, she's used to sitting with a pad going...
Exactly. And what she does, I have to bug her every
week. Does she take notes with her clients?
She doesn't. But I actually got a message once from a doctor because I wrote in the column saying, it's impractical to actually take notes.
That's what I think. I've tried. I can't.
So this doctor wrote me and said, I take notes when I'm talking to patients. I said, oh, come on. Send me the longest paragraph you ever wrote. I was convinced it wouldn't be more than a few words. He sent me something like this, all full of medical terminology, percuss the chest and all this. And he sits there during his appointments doing all that. And again, you don't have to use it that way, which is really important. If you're uncomfortable with the stylus, you just use the computer keyboard. And you can cut and paste things from other documents.
I have done that. I went to, for instance, I'm going shopping for a new microwave oven. I went to Consumer Reports online, got the details on the best microwave, cut it, pasted it in notes here, synchronized it, took this with me to the store. I had the full report right there. That was really convenient.
My favorite little trick is when I get something like today, I had to come to the studio, which is well hidden in the quiet neighborhood in San Francisco. one of your colleagues emailed me the instructions on how to drive her. I can just cut and paste that out of my email program, paste it into a note that I attach to the appointment.
It's really handy.
And then it's right here.
Right there. You don't lose it. What about add-ons? I mean, we talked about date book. It's got an address book, calendar, note-taking.
To-do list.
To-do list. Yeah. Those are the big four kind of things that you would find on Filofax. Yeah. What else can it do?
Lots of things. The great thing about the Palm line and the Handspring, which uses the Palm operating system, is it's so popular that there's hundreds, maybe thousands by now, of applications out there, and you can go to the Palm website or other websites and find just all kinds of applications, mortgage calculators if you're in real estate, and chess games if you want something to do while you're sitting at the airport waiting for your flight.
There's a good chess game in there. So you need to talk a little bit about this, but maximizing entries by using the notes to add data to a phone book and things like that, that's really useful, isn't it?
And another little trick I have, I deal with all kinds of people as a journalist, and whenever someone mentions anything about their kids, I make a little note next to their name, the name of their kid, and the next time I call, so how is little Benji or little Jane?
I'm impressed.
So you can seem like a smarter person than you are.
Now, you could spend a lot of money for these things. This is a Palm 7, which is about $450 because it has the wireless. This, which is running not the Palm OS, but I think the inferior Microsoft Pocket PC OS is even more. It's almost $500. It sounds like you don't think you should spend that much.
No, and I think there's a real misconception. There are some reasons that professionals, like a salesman who needs a big interactive sales catalog or something, might need one of these more expensive ones, or someone who desperately needs to get their stock quotes might need the wireless thing. But most people, just ordinary people, especially if they're spending their own money, can do just fine with the least expensive model.
Yeah, there's plenty of memory in the $150 model for a year's worth of stuff.
I checked with mine. This is the 2E, has 2 megabytes of memory. I've been using this religiously for 3.5 years. The total contents of what I've gotten here is 248K.
You've not even used a tenth of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Mike, great stuff. Here are Mike's PDA tips. Of course, sync your data is key. That's the whole point, because if you lose this, you still have your data. Use the notes to maximize information, personal info like kids' birth dates and names, or driving directions to somewhere you're going, and get those add-on programs because they can really expand the capabilities of your PDA. But you know what? I think this is something many people should have, and you shouldn't be afraid of. These are very valuable tools. Hey, thanks, Mike. We got a great article from Mike on our website. It's, of course, www.techtv.com/call-for-help. We're going to take a break. Test your technology. It's time for a daily quiz. Go to the website, click on today's quiz, answer this right. You're in a drawing for 1-year classes at smartplanet.com. Our quiz question of the day is, what's a disk image? Is it a graphics menu, a duplicate hard drive, an upgrade to your RAM, or your computer's self-esteem? Get to the website. We'll talk about it in just a bit when Call for Help continues.